In theaters now, in limited release from Cohen Media Group, is Driving Madeline. This is a new French comedy drama, dramedy? A new French film from director Christian Carion that stars Renaud, Dany Boon, and Alice Isaaz, and it's really good. So I saw the ads for this and the trailers for this, and I thought, was this kind of like a Driving Miss Daisy kind of thing? Well, in very broad strokes, in that it is about a cabbie in France, cabbie in Paris, who is financially very unstable. He's really walking a fine line of being able to still be a cabbie and still make money. And he gets what looks to be a pricey fare way on the other side of town to pick up an old woman and take her somewhere. And it turns out that this old woman is the titular Madeline, who is 92 years old and just moving out of the house she's lived in for a very long time. And she is looking to sort of take a tour of her life on the way to a retirement home, a nursing home. She is at the age and at a health condition where she really can't live alone anymore. She has nobody else. And she basically asks the cabbie on occasion, could you take a detour here? And he's kind of impatient. He's like, yeah, okay. I mean, the meter's running, okay. And she'll take him to various places and share with him moments of her life that we then see in flashback. So Line, or I'm presuming it's Line, Renaud is the titular Madeline. The younger Madeline in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, let's say, is portrayed by Alice Isaaz, and they go back and forth between these two eras. And it's a really touching, tender. It's not unique in that it's about two people who don't necessarily get along at the beginning in a vehicle, and by the end they have a bond. Not to give anything away, but as they drive, she opens up to the driver, and he sort of softens up a little bit, and she gets him to share with her a little bit about his life, not much, but a little bit. And she's nearing obviously the end of her life, and she's sort of trying to instill in him, don't be angry, be happy, find the joy in life. Here are the things that I overcame, and I'm still happy. And you learn a lot about this person who, if she didn't talk to him, would have been a stranger in his cab for an hour or so, and winds up being somebody he comes to bond with very strongly over the course of what becomes a full day. She really doesn't want to go to the nursing home. And all of the things she's relating about her past are not necessarily things that she's dwelling on happily, but she's just sharing of herself with this stranger. And it becomes, it's a rather touching, actually. It's a rather touching and moving at times, shocking at times, humorous at times. And it's just this kind of thing where you can spend just a few moments with somebody and they can impact your life possibly forever. And you never know a stranger's story until you ask or until they tell you. Somebody who you pass in the street may be this anonymous mannequin as far as you're concerned, but everybody has a life, everybody has a story, and every one of those stories is interesting. Some more than others, but this one is a very interesting story. So this is coming to theaters. This is probably going to be a limited release. It is French with English subtitles. Don't let that put you off. It's a really good film. This is the kind of film I could see being remade in America for some studio wanting to get those nobody wants to read subtitles, people who don't want to read subtitles dollars, but don't let that sway you. If you can go see this in the theater, it's really nicely shot. It's not visually spellbinding because it really takes place either in a cab or in an area outside a cab or in the flashback sequences, but it's a really well done film, and kudos to all involved. This is in theaters now from Cohen Media Group, Driving Madeline.